situation back though from Norwood. Oh, Basham making a run forward, setting up an attempt from Egan, which was blocked and sourced by Laporte.
Caught a block.
Stevens. O'Connell knew that he'd overrun that. Trying to buy the free kick. A smile on his face.
Been advised that retaken penalties can only be decided by the referee or the assistants. And VAR can't play any role in that. So, assistant is the man really I should have been referring to, saying he was asleep. Apologies to all those in bar headquarters. There was a pretty cracking atmosphere before the penalty, and a much better one after it was saved.
Norwood. Edison out quickly. There ahead of Sharp, he judged it very well. It's an important part of his game, the ability to rig situations so ably, get off his line as quickly as that.
Always looks great, doesn't it? Now the goalkeeper coming out with a flying header.
McBurney. Jesus, the man who was back there to dig it clear. Message. Had their trials and tribulations from the penalty spot recently, Manchester City. They had that incident in the game at Wolves, you'll remember, between Christmas and New Year, where Raheem Sterling's penalty was saved. There was encroachment from Conor Cody, was retaken, and the subsequent one was saved as well, only for Sterling to follow up. It was John Fleck's challenge that the referees taken exception to there. Third Sheffield United yellow card of the night.
Yeah, they're not happy because they felt that Fernandinho should have been penalised for a foul on Oliver Burnley a couple of minutes earlier. I think there's greater contact with this one. Yeah. Late. Made real contact.
Sixth yellow card of the season for Fleck. Last time he was here, Lee Mason, he sent off Billy Sharp in the season game against Southampton. He's also sent off Fernandinho in the past, and just has the feeling of one of those games where challenges flying in. Wouldn't be surprised if somebody picked up a couple of yellows tonight. Here's Rodri. Zinchenko supplying the width for Manchester City. Sterling trying to supply Jesus, but decent defensive header away from Egan gets Sheffield United out again.
And no matter how good you are, where you've been, travelled and played matches at all different levels, coming to a different city for the first time, and it is the first for this group of Manchester City players. There's no Sheffield Wednesday, the top flight right now. Real raucous Steel City atmosphere tonight.
The last time that City were here, they were beaten in the FA Cup by a Blades team who are a division below them. So back in 2008, Daniel Sturridge scoring the first goal of his career for Manchester City that day. Sharp came off the bench for Sheffield United. Here's De Bruyne. Gets it away, slightly unorthodox from Baldock, but effective to start with, and that's excellent hold-up play from Sharp. Not also from Fleck as he tried to tease it over the top, but hit it twice as hard as he wanted for McBurney.
Yeah, so much unlike John Fleck.
Bruyne for Zinchenko. Kevin De Bruyne again. It's there for Wachikwa.
Lovely turn by the Belgian, wasn't too far away. Still in one movement. Looking for that near post. 2 feet. Had a couple of sighters.
To one additional minute of just formulating his half-time team talk in his head.
I think you just accept, that it's been a tough game so far. Of course, you can miss penalties, anybody can. You'll be more disappointed that they've not quietened this crowd and had real superior command in the final third. As a result, usually Manchester City, with all the talent that they have at their disposal, will create 2 or 3 good chances, but patience, of course, with them has been a key word over the last couple of seasons. They are still an outstanding outfit. They'll get some, as will United, I'm sure.
Yellow card for Fernandinho. Second biggest share of the night for the Sheffield United fans.
Not sure who's Chris Wilder is smiling at, not Fernandinho, maybe Ollie McBurney for being smart enough to, I was going to say draw the Brazilian in, but I actually don't think he knew he was there. Pretty clumsy foul, wasn't it?
So, as it was when these two sides met just 3.5 weeks ago, it's 0-0 at half-time, but only thanks to the heroics of Dean Henderson. 2 excellent saves, one from a Gabriel Jesus penalty, although he stole a couple of yards off his line, and it should have been read.
It's vitamin B3 to reduce dark underarm marks in 7 days with 48-hour odor protection.
Designer / coder / DJ / influencer / activist / vlogger.
Correct.
Vlogger.
Kagiso Rabada, seeing a bowling star here in this tournament.
And that is 6 more. He is simply on fire.
Lovely shot, lovely shot. How about that for a piece of timing?
What have you done? Brighton, the Seagulls, John. Really? For the win? Against the deadliest attack in the league? In the rain? Off the back of 3 straight defeats? At odds of what? 9.2? Oh, right. I see what you've done.
Nobody could conceivably have seen that coming. Nobody.
With Discovery, I don't just get great car insurance for me. My son gets it too.
I get up to 25% off Uber rides. And when I drive home, I get retail vouchers and coffees and groceries and discount.
Também no Rádio Web. Uma goleada de transmissão.
Como se tivesse levado ali uma abraçada, uma ombrada, talvez. Ele não chega pra lá do Aspilicueta.
No pudo hacer más. Giovanni Franco.
Bueno, es un cabezazo que ya había hecho bien la jugada ahí entre Rudiger y Abraham, pero no le quedó cómodo ahí a Christensen, que se pasa tantito desviado de la meta de
Buen resultado al conjunto de los Blues. Y ahí está la cosa. Así está la situación. Y bueno, tratando de salir el goner con balón controlado. A fin de cuentas es Saka el que tiene el saque de manos por sector izquierdo en propio territorio. David Luiz otra vez con Saka. Entrega con el 11 Torreira. Va hacia adelante, le da la vuelta con este número 20. En posición del esférico que es Mustafi. Va por sector derecho. Pelotazo largo profundo. Por debajo no encuentra a nadie, pero sí a Jorginho. Control del Chelsea. Va hacia adelante Jorginho con balón control. Le cae. Ahí la caseta, labores de recuperación. Viene el goner por sector izquierdo. Atención, esta puede ser. Viene Torreira. Se trató de meter la barrida. Estupendo. Le mete el pie. Ahí lo que es Christensen. Bien Christensen y también Rudiger ahí en la zona baja, Giovanni.
Pero donde tuvo que bajar es Alessandro Lacazette haciendo labor de defensivo. Le roba el balón para que pudiera tener dotes de profundidad, pero mira, pues al final no pasó a mayores, pero el balón nuevamente está en territorio del Arsenal.
Exactamente, tiene que venir a hacer labores de recuperación. Este número 10 la tiene David Luiz. Hay una línea del Chelsea que no deja salir al córner. Y aguas con Abraham, se duele el número 9.
No, fue nada más un pequeño golpe, ya está de vuelta el delantero británico. David Luiz, que en su momento también ganó prácticamente todo con el Chelsea. También fue de los sobrevivientes que ganaron la única Champions League que tienen en 2002 ante el Bayern Múnich. Y ahora pues enfrentándose al Arsenal, está con la final del Arsenal,
sí,
que por momentos ya ha tenido dotes si no de decadencia, ya no es el mismo que había estado anteriormente. Ahí lo tienen, es un jugador pues sí importante, pero ya también los años no pasan en balde.
Ella dice fenomenoide, dice luego llegó mi jefe y bailó. Pues, mi hermano. Chelsea la gana con Roberto Di Matteo como técnico.
En penales ante el Bayern y bueno, Manchester United, Liverpool.
Matic is up, so is Van Dijk. Back in by one, Saka. That was offside. And Alisson saw Salah running from his own half, so onside here, Mo Salah. Salah to settle it! In front of the Kop! There's no feeling like that feeling so keen to get there and celebrate with him once he finished it off. It's good strength just to hold off Daniel James, keep him at bay, and then he might possibly have stuck it through De Gea's legs with the effort. And it's great composure because he had a long way to go and he had a lot to do. And sometimes thinking time can go against you. Not then.
And he is booked for the removal of his shirt, having scored his first ever goal against Manchester United. And Jurgen's got 3 more points, and they sing, they dare to sing. You hear it. We're going to win the league.
From Fergie time to Klopp's time.
And now you've got to believe them. You have got to believe them. 16 clear with 16 to play. Liverpool have put away the old enemy at Anfield. Liverpool 2, Manchester United 0. In the league in 2019.
Pure New York in a bottle. Cruise Manhattan Blossom.
Cruise Vintage Black. Your world, your vodka. Every morning till 11, we become the steak, ribs, burger, and bacon people. We only use black bacon because it's meatier and more tender. Our master grillers cook that bacon to flame-seared perfection at 350 degrees over our legendary grills. Enjoy our glorious grilled back bacon, golden fries, 2 large eggs, grilled tomato, toast, and jam for just $34.90. That's a real breakfast at an unreal price.
Introducing the next generation Mazda 3. A striking, beautifully designed exterior. A perfectly crafted interior created with premium materials. Innovative technology and the latest safety features. Powerful presence on the road. A drive you need to feel to believe. The next generation Mazda 3.
Follow the journey to England's top flight in the Skybet EFO Championship, only on SuperSport.
Watch the sizzling Australian Open live on SuperSports. Voted the most improved player on the ATP Tour last year, Matteo Berrettini is one of the rising youngsters gunning for maiden Grand Slam glory. The ever-improving Italian has made great strides since first-round exits in Melbourne in 2018 and 19. He reached the US Open semi-final and broke into the Wolves top 10 for the first time. This Australian Open player profile is brought to you by Prudential Investment Managers.
The League of Extremes, the UEFA Champions League on SuperSport.
We all want our relationship to be strong, healthy, and loving. But when you can't perform, it can cause distance between you and your partner. Ultimately, it can mean the end of your relationship. It seems a tragedy when all you need to do is visit Men's Clinic International and get the performance problem treated. Visit one of our doctors for help with weak erections, early ejaculation, and low libido. Send a please call me to 072-315-2574 or SMS to 32110.
Let's take a shot of nana into a cheat day.
No problem.
You have a dream.
I want to be a bouncer and I want to go into bodybuilding.
Wait, what? Wait, hold on. You carry your protein
Yes.
in your car with you. Is this what I'm...
Balance. And gym.
Bible,
Yes.
Protein,
That's true.
change factor, yeah?
Yes.
Chincha, 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 mzalwane. SMS save to 31570 or call 08 600 60,000 and change that ID.
plenty of thinking again for Pep Guardiola. Side's last away game was a free-flowing attacking display at Aston Villa where they were breathtaking before half-time. Not quite the same here in the Steel City tonight, but that man has played a big part in it. But for two magnificent stops from Dean Henderson, Manchester City could still be in complete control despite not being quite at their fluent best so far. Plenty of attacking options on the Manchester City bench. Sergio Aguero scored 5 goals in his last 2 games and is among those who can yet be called upon. No changes in personnel from either side at this stage. Manchester City have been so potent over the course of Pep Guardiola's reign. Demolition of Aston Villa in their last away game took their tally to 15 goals in their last 4 matches on the road. They're averaging 3 a game away from the Etihad this season. If they can continue at that pace, it'll be the best goal-scoring return of any side away from home in the top division since the 19th century. But so far, they haven't found a breakthrough here. Last time these two sides met, it was Kevin De Bruyne 6 or 7 minutes into the second half that got City's noses in front. Will they be able to start the second period in a similarly impressive manner tonight? Here is De Bruyne. He's losing out to Besic. Baldock. Sharp's run forward covered by Laporte, who is then there ahead of Sharp again. Anticipation from Besic there ahead of Zinchenko, and that's a Sheffield United throw. What do we need to do differently in this second period effort, do you think?
Not too much, I would suggest. I think they played well enough, not quite with the cutting edge on a consistent basis that Pep Guardiola would like, but they've not found that one stellar player so far tonight that's been consistently able to trouble this Manchester City backline. They usually have 1 or 2 throughout the course of 90 minutes. That opposition defences have to worry about. Just keep probing. I think patience, as I said, towards the end of the half is key for them. It's likely that United will make a couple of mistakes in the middle of the park, and on the counter-attack at the moment seems their best option.
Maud's free kick. Easily dealt with by Manchester City, able to bring it away with Mahrez. De Bruyne making his way forward. Scott Jesus up in support. He's got to make sure that he gets himself onside. And Stevens, the covering defender for Sheffield United again. Here's Norwood now for the Blades. Sharp willing to chase. Edison, as always, coolness personified. 4 of Sheffield United's 6 league defeats this season have come against sides who are currently in the top 3. They do still have an impressive record against the other members of the traditional Big Six, though. They've taken 4 points off Arsenal. They've come back from 2 down at Chelsea, held both Manchester United and Tottenham as well. Their league position so impressive, but I think it's fair to say that their performances in many games have been better than the results.
Sometimes you may be the best 1 or 2 teams in the league. You find it difficult to break down stubborn defences, both home and away. And very often, the manager will just say that there's absolutely no need to change anything. Just sharpen up some of your passing, 1 or 2 stray ones. A few crosses have not found their mark for Manchester City. But just a reminder, reassuring the players that they have the quality. Doesn't always have to be something drastic. Sometimes you credit the opposition, just say they played well enough. Keep passing, keep probing, and chances will appear.
Rodri, Basham with a touch that gives Manchester City the first corner of the second half.
had to play it. He was a little bit disappointed at George Baldock, maybe didn't give him the shout to leave it, but Jesus was right behind. I don't think he could take the chance.
Centre halves forward again. Variety of movement inside that penalty area, causing problems for Sheffield United. Sterling gets the free kick.
Misses a clearance to Ender Stevens. He just leaves his leg there. It's not a great amount of contact. Sterling certainly makes the most of it. That's about the third or fourth occasion in the match so far where they've been in a decent position to clear the ball. They've not done so. A couple of times they've had to bring down their players. That's the second one. The other occasion led to a chance for Sterling, which was superbly saved by Henderson. And those are the errors that City could prey upon.
It is Riyad Mahrez that strikes it, and that quartet of Sheffield United players in the wall did its job very effectively. Walker there to mop up for Manchester City. Now Zinchenko. Manchester City, as they love to do, just turning the screw that little bit more in the second half and now having a catalogue of set pieces in promising positions. Basham was guilty of the indiscretion this time.
Yeah, a little flick out. He's looking to escape without a yellow card for that. It's the first occasion really I can recall that Manchester City have been able to fireball into one of their attacking players like that, right on the edge of the box, without real cover. And the Sheffield United player, if there is, and then he doesn't make the attempt to bring him down.
Great angle here for City, but De Bruyne will be furious with himself that he didn't make more of a very promising position there.
Yeah, he's been off mark with his passing so far tonight.
That one blocked by McBurney. Breaks kindly for the Blades, the fleck. Rodri and Walker very quickly on him, and he emerged from between the pair of them, and Rodri will get a yellow card.
Did well, didn't he, John Fleck, to wriggle between the two players. Walker comes across, realises who it is. He's not going to knock it past Kyle Walker and retrieve the ball. And it appears that Rodri didn't trust Kyle Walker too much either, because he made the foul.
Part of the City game plan, which has been talked about at length. The fact that they're happy to tail opposition runners at whatever cost at times. Sheffield United have done it as well tonight. Flex ball forward. Sharp trying to bring it down. It's a Sheffield United corner in front of the Kop.
Tactical fouling, that's what you're talking about, isn't it, Jim?
Well, it's part of the game. I know a lot of people don't like it. Actually, I think it, rightly or wrongly, I think it is a valid tactic.
It's always been part of the game.
Plenty of whip on the delivery. And the near post flick could have been a potent one. It's off the defensive head, out of play for another Sheffield United corner.
Yeah, Fernandinho header at the near post. You just want to get as much as you can on those headers. Sometimes at the near post they can lead to an opposition play, just nodding it in at the far post.
6-yard box so congested, very little room for manoeuvre. And Ederson sees the referee fine in his favour. Plenty of traffic to try and navigate there, did the Manchester City goalkeeper. Lee Mason thought the pressure on him was unfair.
I bet you there's nothing there. Yeah. Billy Sharp is allowed to try and challenge for the ball. He actually doesn't. He just stands next to it, moves towards the goalkeeper and turns his body.
Fernandinho. Oh, Walker made a very quick and direct run down that right-hand touchline for him, wanted the ball played over the top of Stevens. It wasn't forthcoming. Instead, it's Laporte combining with Rodri. Picked up by the Spaniard to feed Mahrez, who's been in excellent form over the last month or so. Now Sterling. Mahrez back for Sterling. De Bruyne. Fernandinho. And still Fernandinho, brilliantly done, scooping it forward intelligently for Jesus. Didn't need the telephoto lens for that one, did he?
A good skill from Fernandinho. This little clever dink over the back line. He was onside. Just a little bit heavy. Jesus has got to hold his line, knowing that he's close to being flagged. The only thing I can suggest right now for Manchester City is I'll be thinking about detailing Raheem Sterling just to hug this left touch line. Widen the play for Man City. They've got enough quality and athleticism in the middle of the park to cover Sheffield United on breaks, I would imagine. Rodri and De Bruyne. Sterling one-on-one. If you can get isolated quickly enough, they certainly do transfer the ball from right to left extremely well, Man City. Mahrez is a good pass to the ball, so is De Bruyne, of course. There's more space then for Sterling to work in. He's spent a lot of time pretty much central. Sheffield United are strong in that department. It also freezes George Baldock as well. Not quite to the spot, but he then becomes much less of a threat going forward. Sterling will still have the speed to whiz past a couple of players.
Mahrez working wide, Zinchenko's ball in, almost the broke back out for Mahrez again. That was one of the elements of Manchester City's game against Crystal Palace at the weekend, where Palace, as they tend to do, congested everything in the central area. That forced Manchester City wide, and there were something like 50 crosses coming in from wide positions from Manchester City, but the quality of delivery wasn't up to muster until the last 10 minutes or so.
Yeah, for a team who doesn't have a big forward line, I bet they scored quite a few headers over the last couple of campaigns. Aguero is quite adept at finishing with the head. Sterling gets Jesus gets a couple.
Sterling knew that he couldn't go for that. He'd have been offside. De Bruyne also alive to the situation. And Walker's ball in, hits Fleck and goes out for a corner.
Yeah, for those players who are not particularly tall, it's all about movements in the box and then relying on your teammates to find you in the space. Aguero, Jesus, Sterling are not going to jump too many defenders, but getting in between them, Aguero certainly is adept at that. Be surprised if we don't see him, of course, in the next 10-15 minutes.
De Bruyne's delivery, not too far away from Rodri. Everybody just stood and watched to see where it would dip.
I think Dean Henderson was pretty sure this was going wide. Oh, maybe not. Hoping it is. Yeah, that wasn't far away from the post, was it? Actually got too much on it. Well, it's Chris Wilder who's blinked first.
Billy Sharp is the player that is coming off, and Lys Mousset will come on to replace him. Hasn't scored in his last 9 games, the Frenchman, after 4 in 6 matches at one stage. As always, an excellent ovation for Billy Sharp, the man who scored most English league goals in this 21st century. And Mousset on to replace him. Holly Norwood the man with the captain's armband. Moussa had some good moments when these two sides last met, including that goal that was ruled out for offside. Just a fraction. His pace and movement causing problems.
Yeah, he's faster than Billy Sharp and Ollie McBurney. Manchester City goes searching for that opening goal, which you imagine they would do. A bit more space in between the three centre-halves. Fernandinho more likely to get forward of that back three.
Sterling, the opportunity to be slightly more direct this time. It was Chris Basham that got his foot in to get it away. Sheffield United playing their way out with confidence and aplomb. Laporte dealing with the situation. Zinchenko's header forward. Time for Basham. Bernie doing his best to make life difficult for Rodri, but he can squeeze it through for Mahrez. And now Raheem Sterling. The angle is tight, but he's got support in the middle. Basham, the only player he can find. Back from Walker. Rodri clipped over the top for Jesus. Didn't get the power that he needed.
There was the back cross, just not quite enough pace onto it. Yeah, keeps himself onside as Jesus said, not over a defender, you would expect that, but either moving away so he's behind or in front. Didn't quite angle it to the corner. As I said, in truth, not enough pace really to help him trouble the goalkeeper. They're not shy to put the crosses in. It's usually De Bruyne who gets the right amount of speed onto them. Mahrez.
Basham, Besic, Baldock. Now McBurney, crowd appreciating this. It's Basham's ball in. It might break for Moussa. Improvisation. The back heel flick in the end, straight at the goalkeeper. And potentially the catalyst for a Manchester City counter-attack. De Bruyne, Walker making his way forward, can't find Sterling. And a promising position fizzles out, but that was Sheffield United's best move of the game.
Without a doubt. McBurney does well, keeps himself onside. Lovely little reverse pass. There's Basham. And Moussa, he's drawn towards the cross initially, isn't he? And then that palm save from Edison just took it away from him, not able to turn quickly enough and get a real shot off on target. The back heel was ambitious.
Sheffield United's first attempt on target, but John Flagg was absolutely irate that it wasn't pulled back for him in a better position facing the goal to have an attempt. He's been a menace, Lys Mousset, in the 3 or 4 minutes that he's been on the field.
Take him another 5 or so minutes really to get his breathing and composure up to the required rate. There'll be long enough left for him to make an impact, given the right service.
Fernandinho. Norwood does such a good job as a screen in front of those 3 centre-halves.
2, Manchester United 0.